let's make lemonade. Let's go to work.
That's the signal! Go, 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 go!
Six!
It's beautiful!
Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Wake up and hit the ground running. It's The Rush, presented by Willis Auto, with Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bringing you raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic talk about sports, life, and everything else that matters. No filtered, no fluff, just The Rush.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive and Willis Lexus. Excitement is building for the all-new 2026 Lexus ES redesign. Hybrids continue to be extremely popular, and Lexus is offering strong finance incentives. Now is a great time to buy. Start your buying journey at willisauto.com. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like. Leave your comments in the comment section. Join the community. You can call the show at 515-517-2303 and follow us on our social media channels. Good morning, Ross Peterson. We've reached the middle of the week.
I thought you were going to say we meet again, which we do. We do as well. We meet
again. We had an interesting pre-show conversation. We were going through Broadway musicals. We were singing Broadway musical tunes.
I'm sure we were. We were talking about our lack of knowledge of you Oklahoma is the one you're most familiar with. No. Sound of Music is the one you're most familiar with.
Well, Sound of Music, but with the one I was really singing the most really didn't start as a Broadway musical. I believe it was Mary Poppins. You know, I was singing Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Chim Chimney, Chim Chimney, Chim Chim Chiroo.
Is that the same song? Chim Chimney
No, different song.
Okay. The way you rolled through it, I thought that was like the second verse.
Yeah, you could do one of those things and just go right into each and every song, and they would all sound the same.
I don't know any of them. I don't know that I've seen. I mean, I've seen a musical. What's the one about Vietnam?
About Vietnam? Miss Saigon.
It's about Saigon.
Have you not seen Les Mis?
That's the one I've.
Les Mis is about the French Revolution?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Cats?
Oh, my God.
But I can't tell you like a song in Cats. I've never seen Hamilton.
Either have I. I want to, but I've never seen Hamilton.
I don't feel like I'm missing out.
You know, what impresses me, I've been to Broadway in New York, and I've seen some off-Broadway shows when they come to town and stuff. I mean, the song Wicked live was tremendous, but it's kind of the whole stage production, right? Yeah. I mean, it is, you're like, wow, the acting's fabulous, the singing is phenomenal, but it's also the stage production, how you're able to bring a stage production to life to where you feel like you're immersed in it. That's cool to me.
Musicals and soccer. Here we go. WNBA, musicals, and soccer.
There you go.
Do you realize 10 years ago us would kick the shit out of us today? Do you realize how they'd be like, what? Slapping us around and whatnot. Oh, they'd be all hungover, smelling like booze.
But 10 years ago today, for me, the order would have been musicals, and then nothing else in the soccer and WNBA talk. I'd have been like, yeah, screw soccer, dude, screw WNBA. We'll do 2 hours on musicals. Speaking of soccer, though, you've got to give credit where credit is due. And I didn't watch it. It happened to Kansas City. But Lionel Messi scores a hat trick last night. I mean, you have to give credit where credit due. I can recognize the world power that is Lionel Messi and go, okay, at 38 years old, you're playing in your 6th World Cup, and you score a hat trick.
Against Algeria? Where is Algeria?
I'm going to assume that's an African nation. I don't know.
Northern Africa.
Okay, I got it right. My geography's good.
Mostly desert, but yeah. 38, Lionel Messi?
38 years old. His 6th World Cup.
You don't have to like soccer to. Do you ever watch? Do highlights ever like scroll? You know, you're scrolling through your phone and
listen. Highlights are the best way for me to watch soccer.
Yeah.
I appreciate because that's when you see all the. Oh, that was cool. You know, it's the time in between where it's like, come on, let's get to the highlights.
Lionel Messi is a freak. Has been for a long time. I didn't realize he was 38 years old.
Ross, this is his 6th World Cup. He's played in more World Cups than anybody.
So one of the headlines I saw from the AP this morning said that he tied a World Cup scoring record. I'm assuming that's like a career.
Yeah, so he's tied. Okay. I forget who he's tied with, but he has 16 World Cup goals now. So in 6 World Cups.
It's got to be Maradona or.
No, I forget who it is. It was a name I've never heard of.
Really?
Because I don't run in the soccer world. Now, there'd be some soccer purists who go, come on, how do you not know that guy? Well, because I don't. But he tied a record. It was from some guy I don't know.
Ronaldo?
No, it wasn't Ronaldo.
Okay. Or Ronaldinho. When I was I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, there was a dude from Brazil named Ronaldinho. He was amazing. He wouldn't be the guy, though. He didn't have a good enough career. You're going to get in, so Friday night is the U.S. game, right?
Friday night, yes.
Gonna get into this.
If I find I could go to Fong's, but then I'd have to drive 2 hours to watch soccer with people and then drive 2 hours home.
They're having ones in Omaha. They're having things like this.
But see, the ones they have here aren't like outdoor. What I like about Fong's is that it's outdoors. You can kind of be in this park atmosphere. All the ones here are in a bar, which nothing wrong with that. But usually those bars are already soccer bars and they're surrounded by soccer douches that if I were to go in, I don't think I would be accepted because they all show up with their scarves. They do all this stuff. And that's like, I take the dog on a walk on a Sunday morning and they're in there at like 7 a.m. watching an international game.
I'm just passionate about it.
They are passionate, but I don't share the same passion.
They're there in their scarves. They do wear scarves. They do wear their scarves. What happened to your? I thought you guys had an outdoor place thingy that would
not that I know of for soccer, but it's not like I'm on the local soccer websites going, "Hey, come watch the World Cup with me." I'll give Fong's and Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottle Company credit. They at least promote their event. They want different people to come in. Sometimes that soccer community is like, well, knock 3 times, then another short knock, and you're in the door.
I think every community is like that. Every community has people like that. I think you'd be surprised. They'd be welcoming. I'm excited. Friday night, I think I'll go find some place to go hang out and be with a big crowd. That'll be a good time.
You know, the big question surrounding Team USA on Friday, who's the big American player? Starts with Polacek or Polacek?
Pulisic, and I even say it wrong. Yeah, Christian Pulisic, I think is how.
They don't know if he's going to play. I mean, he hasn't been like practicing. He left the game one midway through. They don't know if he's hurt. They don't know what the deal is. Maybe you're just building up drama to create interest for the game. I don't know.
Who do they got Friday night?
I should know this.
This is this is where we're at with it. It's okay. Listen, don't apologize for not knowing. Don't pretend to know more than you know. Dude, I read names from the U.S. roster last week, remember?
Yes.
And then the game started and one of my buddies sent me a text. He's like, "Hey man, you were reading the wrong roster." I said, "No, I wasn't." Play Australia. That's who it is. Friday at 2. Oh, yeah. It's not Friday night. It's Friday at 2.
Oh, I thought it was.
Oh, Travis, that's going to be a really fun way to start the weekend. Come on.
I thought it was at night. I thought last week was at 2. I could be wrong.
Again, I'm Ron Burgundy. I read the chat like it's.
Like I read the gospel?
Chat like I read my Twitter feed. I read it and I go, "Oh, well, that happened. That's the truth." I'll fact check that later if I need to, but for now, it's Australia at 2:00. Is it Austria at 7 p.m.? Possibly, but are we close? That's the real question, Kravis. Are we close? Do we care?
What's close? The for meteorologists, if they're within 4 degrees, that's like a good forecast.
Listen,
so if we're within 4 hours,
I don't pick on the
I work for them.
forecasters.
I'm not picking on them. I'm just saying when you get the meteorological seal of approval, it's like you have this buffer zone, and there's a buffer zone. So if we're within plus or minus 4 hours of a sporting event starting, that's our buffer zone.
Thing, right. I love it. Are we on the right day? And again, do we care? That's what you really want to know. Miroslav Klaus. Miroslav Klose. A German fella.
Klose.
A German fella.
A German fella. Remember when Germany used to dominate the World Cup? Them in France.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they were probably cheating better than everybody. This guy's like my age. What? I've never heard of this dude. I've never heard this name before.
Because you didn't start paying attention to soccer and probably till
I don't pay
6
attention.
years ago.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but still, I can name 10 soccer players in the history of the world.
Pele, Ronaldo, Messi, Freddie Adu.
that's
Alexi Lawless. That's about it for me.
Landon
Just off the top of my head.
Landon Donovan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have got that.
Don't act like you ain't going to say Hope Solo in your top 10.
Oh, I was only going down the men's group.
Oh. He's my age. This dude's like, I really thought I was going to Google him and it was going to be like born in 1923. I thought that this dude, I was going to be like, well,
he
yeah,
was born in 1978.
He was born he's my age. I've never, Miroslav Klose.
You got a birthday coming up too, don't you?
This guy was born.
See how he just glossed right over that, folks?
Trying to see
what is it? Is it this weekend?
This guy just turned 48. His birthday is 49, June 9th. Miroslav Klose. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, friend of the program, Miroslav.
And I believe Ross's birthday is on Sunday.
Coming up. Sneaking up.
49 or 48?
Almost 48 this year.
Wow.
Almost 50.
Almost. Once you cross that threshold, man.
I'm there. Dude.
You're not 50 yet. There is a threshold there.
I always tell people, I've been telling people I'm 48 for 2 or 3 years, I feel like. So it doesn't matter. And thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the happy birthday. I did it. I finally did it. Another birthday. I accomplished it. When was the last time any of you had a birthday? Oh, they're common? Everybody does them? Okay.
The Rev says he's going to be 60. Rev, you look no younger than 68. 70?
Dude, Rev, remember the
Rev's
night
had a hard life.
Remember the night, Rev, we're at the Bone Thugs and Harmony concert, and me, you, and Bill Blank sneak out onto the deck, and we go out onto the deck, and there's a lady on the deck, Travis, who is 90 years old. She's 90. She's got her granddaughter out there on the smoking deck with her, right?
Yeah.
And Rev comes out, and if you haven't seen Rev, he sometimes when he's not feeling good, he gets around pretty slow. Okay. We walk out onto this deck, and Rev and this lady, how you doing? Doing well? Oh yeah. And somebody's wearing a shirt of a band, Rush. And this lady's like, "Oh, I saw Rush." And Rev's like, "Oh yeah, I saw Rush also." And she's like, "I saw Rush my senior year in 1992. I'm like, what? And Rev's like, "Yeah, that was my I graduated, because again, if he's turning 60, he graduated like 84 or something like that.
84, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
84, 85.
This lady was like a year or two younger than Rev. I was blown away, man. I was standing there and I was like, the kind of time machine am I in?
1992 would have made her young.
Whatever
what year did you
it was.
graduate? 94, 95?
96.
Yeah. Living hard, playing hard can do damage on the body. There's no doubt about it. Look at me. I have not lived hard.
That's why you look like pristine
I'm
little...
56. I look my age.
Yeah.
At least I think I do. We got another hour with the AD coming up today at 7 o'clock. Megan Franklin from Northern Iowa going to be joining us for the entire hour. I'm looking forward to this, Ross. I've never met Megan, never talked to Megan before, so this is going to be like a first-time meeting. And she's been the UNI athletic director since May of 2024. She hired Todd Stepsis, hired Kyle Green, so she's been busy. So going to be good to get to know Megan Franklin coming up at 7 o'clock.
Did Stepsis help grease the skids on this at all?
Well, yeah, a couple people helped grease the skids on it. So when I told Stepsis kind of what our idea was, and so he went down and kind of mentioned it to her and said, "Hey, reach out to this person." We weren't making much traction, and I think that happens when you don't know somebody, you don't have a familiarity with somebody. You're like, "Well, what am I getting into?"
And by the way, she's been doing this for 2 years and has had 2 great hires and hasn't needed. These two idiots.
Yeah. But I think it was Brian Harden who finally pushed it over the edge. It was they were in Las Vegas together last week, and I kind of said, "Hey, are you with Megan?" And I said, and so she responded right away and got it scheduled. So that was really cool. And then next week, of course, we have Beth Getz on Monday, and then Jamie Pollard on Wednesday. So a good way to end the month of June with nice long conversations with the ADs from the 4 major universities here in the state of Iowa. Hey, don't forget, The Rush is helping you fire up the grill and light up the sky on the 4th of July. It's the Freedom Feast giveaway presented by the Iowa Fireworks Farm. All you have to do is go to therushradio.com and click the promo tab, and you're going to see the Freedom Fest. All you have to do is enter some information. We're not asking you for anything except your name, telephone number, email address, and stuff like that, and you could win the Mob Stars from the Iowa Fireworks Farm. That's valued at $800. A Weber Kettle Grill from Ace Hardware in Johnston and Ankeny. And a barbecue bundle box from the Des Moines Bacon Company. Again, register. It's free to do so at therushradio.com. Now, each and every week, we're going to give away a $50 gift certificate. That's where we're asking you for something. All you have to do is email me, Travis at therushradio.com, or tag us on social media. A patriotic photo. Got a couple more coming in last night. But it is the Rush Freedom Feast for the 4th of July from the Iowa Fireworks Farm. We need to get Wade on next week. Talk about what that's a great idea.
Yeah. Because as you say that, I want to Google it because I think I know exactly what it is. It's a bundle. Again, I shouldn't even speak, but I'm going to tell you what I think it is. I think it's that bundle that, like, if you were to stand it up on end, it's almost about 4 feet tall. It's about 18 inches wide. It's a cardboard box full of mortars and different things. It's a fireworks show in a box. It's you show up with that to a house that doesn't have fireworks, you have a fireworks show. You show up with one that does have fireworks, people are going to be talking about it later. Who's the guy that brought the freaking pallet full of mortars?
It was Kirk.
It's
called the Mob Stars.
We just call him Mob now.
Yeah, he's got the mobs.
You're going to get a new. That's how good this prize is. You might get a new nickname.
God, he brought something to eat. He brought a grill too. Where'd he get all that? The Rush Radio Show.
And by the way, Freedom Feast 4th of July is about as many F words as Travis is going to say in a row without
actually saying the actual F word.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. So proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you for being proud of me. Would you be proud of me that I only watched maybe 3 minutes of the WNBA game between Indiana and Toronto last night?
Another win for the Fever, right?
Another win, 4th in a row, 5th in the last 6 games.
Did you enjoy it?
Well, I tuned in. Owen and Lizzie were over last night, so I checked the score. We were sitting outside, and they were up 2 at half. And then when I got there, they were already up so big because they ran away with it in the second half that I'm like, okay. I watched 2 minutes of Caitlin Clark playing, and I'm like, okay, I don't feel like I missed anything. So did I enjoy it? I didn't watch enough to enjoy. How's that?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's the true answer. I mean, I didn't watch it, so I can't help out much with it. I saw in your rundown, and I see in the comment section right now, Sophie Cunningham had a nice game.
Came off the bench. I think 24 points, 6 of 7 from 3-pointers.
Damn.
Yeah. She was on fire, especially in the second half. Kelsey Mitchell also 3 of 4 from behind the 3-point line. Caitlin she's struggling with her shooting. I mean, and it has kind of been a broken record all year long. She's had a couple games, but 5 of 15 from the field last night, 1 of 8 from behind the 3-point line. But Ross, her court vision, she had some assists last night that were just phenomenal. She's great at the free throw line. She's shooting 92% on the season from the free throw line. Shooting 40% from the field, 34% from behind the arc.
Those aren't horrible numbers on a whole, but what did you say? 1 of 5 last night?
1 of 5 last night, and then 5 of 15 from the field. But I think the good part is, at Iowa, and it's an apples to oranges comparison, but Caitlin Clark needed to lead that team in scoring almost every single night. Here, she doesn't have to. Kelsey Mitchell's a pretty darn good player. You get somebody come off the bench like Sophie Cunningham. That's why. Now, the only knock last night, I'll give her credit. She had 14 assists. Great. But she had 5 turnovers in the first half. She only had 1 in the second half, but she turned the ball over a lot in that first half.
14 assists for Caitlin last night?
Yeah, 14.
And you said some dynamic ones? I see.
Oh, behind the back. I mean,
that's what she doesn't have to go for 40 like I was talking about. She doesn't have to have the 32 a night if there's that stuff. She's got to have highlights. Got to have a lot of highlights.
I mean, her court, and I said this when she was in college. I go, I like to watch her pass more than I like to watch her score because she sees the court so well. And that's why I'm like, just concentrate on being a point guard. You'll get your 15 to 20 just by getting to the free throw line. You don't need to pull up from 35 feet when you have a 1% chance of making that shot anyway.
Talking about highlights and the messy goal. That same thing happens. Larry Bird highlights. Larry Bird was that way. Yeah. The ball fakes.
The ball fakes.
Yeah. That era, man. Magic. Did that come? Do you think a lot of that, does that credit, should it go to Pistol Pete and Dr. J? Dr. J was your favorite player, right? That's why you played above the rim because of Dr. J.
Growing up before Michael Jordan, it was Dr. J because he was doing stuff on the court that you're like, this is non-traditional. Yeah. What I like watching Pistol Pete Maravich isn't necessarily the games he played in. He's got like these instructional videos.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell, dude? I mean, you do stuff with a basketball I've never seen. And there's probably kids today have no idea who Pistol Pete Maravich is.
Oh, man. And would watch. He was magic. He was magic with the ball. That's what I think, Caitlin, when I see those, when you say that about like, I love the fact that she can go for 40 and score from the logo, but it's the court vision and the passing.
Yeah.
That reminds me of like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, that sort of stuff. Jason Williams, Coach Hersom. But Jason Williams was, and I loved White Chocolate. Remember Jason Williams?
Yeah.
Dude, the pass behind the back with the elbow, he's ridiculous. But that was kind of it. So yeah, he's going down the court. He's got guys on both wings racing in. He fakes the pass behind his back to the left. As he throws the ball behind his back, Travis, he brings his left elbow back and bats the ball to the other dude. He and Randy Moss, the Coach Hersom's right. They went to the same high school together. They were on the same high school basketball team.
Can you imagine that?
The highlights of that are ridiculous. When we were in school, Johnston had 2 kids that played, I think even D1. I think they both played, even if it at the time when I was growing up, if you were in high school and you had two kids that were going to go play college basketball, that was amazing. Your team was going to be incredible. Johnston had these, and I don't remember either one of their names, but they were good.
Moose just said he tried calling in. Moose, you were on hold. I just bringing you on. I just didn't. I waited for you. It's okay though. If you do want to call, 515-517-2303. Oh, what was that?
You dropped a pen.
Something. I dropped a pen. I did very good. How'd you know it was a pen? You know the sound of a pen? Damn, Ross.
Drop a mug. See if I know that.
No, because that'll break.
Oh.
And I don't want to do that. NASCAR is coming back to the Iowa Speedway August 7th through the 9th, and the Iowa Lottery has your chance at winning a VIP experience for the entire weekend, plus a chance to meet two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Kyle Larson. How about a private trailer tour, a pace car ride, and much more? Use your Powerball tickets to enter through 9:59 a.m. on July 14th for a chance to win the Iowa Speedway prize package that includes cash, merchandise, and more. But wait, there is more. Keep on entering through 9:59 on August 11th for a chance to win $10,000 cash and become a semifinalist in the national promotion NASCAR Powerball. Go to ialottery.com for more to enter those Powerball tickets. You got to be a VIP club member. That's ialottery.com/VIP. What were you putting up there?
Oh, Sammy knew it. Sunblad and Danner were the two kids, were the last names of the two kids from Johnston back in the 90s. Rev, I think hit it right. Vape pen. See, Rev is so good. He can tell you when that vape pen hits the ground if it's an indica or sativa. Yeah. Rev's going to start rattling off. That's a cookies.
It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you a My Dream Job is No Job millionaire. A front row tickets to every show millionaire. A hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie millionaire.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles millionaire. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
And these.
you can change your life for life. Play today.
When you work with a company like Mr. Electric that goes above and beyond and makes the customer their priority, that is just a real joy to encounter these days. It was a fairly complicated project and it was intimidating. They made it look so easy and they were very professional, very clean folks. They thoroughly explain what they're going to do. It's clear that they're experienced and that they know what they're doing. Having professionals out there that can do that for me, that gives me a lot of peace of mind.
When I'm meeting a new patient, I want them to feel comfortable knowing that odds are I've seen something like this before.
From the moment a patient steps in the room to the moment the patient leaves the office, I think they're going to get a great experience.
I think it feels good coming in and feeling like it's a community here and you get to be a part of that community and get to be taken care of by that community.
My goal is when they walk out of there to know that I'm fighting for them, I'm pulling for them.
Schedule an appointment at iowauro.com.
Keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
My name's Gary Presnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank in Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat, Norm. Norm knows basketball, but he doesn't know mortgage. And that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert. Please call me. I would love to help you.
Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I am Roman Lehman, Service Advisor at Willis Nissan. For the 2026 summer season, we will be offering 15% off all fuel system services. Over time, carbon builds up inside your engine, and these services clean out all carbon deposits for better engine performance. Don't let carbon deposits get in the way of your summer plans. Visit willisnissan.com to book your service today.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Hi, it's Noel. If you're thinking about popping the question, start with a jeweler you can trust. At Fiscus Jewelers, we offer the largest inventory in Ankeny, featuring stunning engagement rings and rare and forever natural diamonds, pre-screened with advanced technology. If you don't see exactly what you're looking for, we'll custom design it together, and our CAD drawings are always free. And when it's time to say I do, don't forget the guys. We offer the largest selection of men's wedding bands around. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
I hope you're stretched, hydrated, and prepared for more nonsense because The Rush with Travis and Ross, presented by Willis Automotive, is back now.
Gary Presnell is the man to call when you want to get a mortgage for a house you're getting ready to buy. And he's a mortgage banker with Northwest Bank, financing residential homes the past 25 years. Offers a wide variety of loans that fit you. He can get you pre-approved for that loan in 30 minutes, and it can happen after hours during the week and on weekends. He's been the state of Iowa's top-producing mortgage banker the past 8 years. Give him a call at 515-517 or 975-6767. Again, two different phone numbers mixed up, 515-975-6767. Coming up in about a half an hour, it's our Hour with the AD, Megan Franklin from Northern Iowa, getting ready to join us. Ross, you know, I hate it when there's stories of financial turmoil, right? And that is, you see guys who make a ton of money piss it away. Floyd Mayweather has made $1.1 billion as a boxer. That's just as a boxer. $1.1 billion. He's now facing 24 years in prison on 2 felony counts for bouncing a check for trying to buy a rare antique watch from a Wells Fargo account on New Year's Eve of 2024. The jewelry store spent the last year and a half trying to settle the matter without going to court, knowing that it was Floyd Mayweather. The check bounced like immediately. They sent it back, said, hey, dude, bring the watch back, or hey, you may not have known you had enough funds in this account. He ghosted him. He didn't contact him. He ghosted him and is like, I'm just disappeared. And they for a year going through legal, all this stuff, didn't want to make it public. Finally had to make it public when he wouldn't pay up $200,000. He's got a tax lien of over $7 million of unpaid taxes. He was just recently forced to pay $1 million in back child support. He's got other financial problems. He owes jet companies money for use of private planes that he hasn't paid for. He's fallen behind on his rent in a luxury apartment in New York City. And you wonder why he's doing weird fights and doing exhibitions? The guy has made $1.1 billion as a boxer and appears to be broke.
Man, lots of stuff there. Remember, a lot of other people got rich too, right? The $1.1 billion made he was in industry for a long time. He never was making smart financial decisions. I mean, he was always bragging about putting millions of dollars on fights and games, and you know, he was doing the mattress Mac thing. You know what I mean? He'd fly into a certain place, make a huge deal out of making a big bet.
Walk in with a briefcase full of cash.
He was Money Mayweather, man. He was Money Mayweather. So he was always doing that stuff. You know what I mean? Had the fancy cars and all that stuff. Number two was pretty open about the fact that he's one of those people who doesn't care about what our societal norms are. He didn't pay. So what? I wrote a check that bounced. I'm Floyd Mayweather. I hate to say like, oh, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me that, and by the way, that once you start to unravel it, more people wouldn't step up and go, oh, yeah, by the way, we're in line. He owes us some money too. He did the same thing to us, but we didn't say anything because it's Floyd Mayweather and we just figured it was an accounting error. No, it turns out the guy's really broke, spent all of his money.
And what happens when you are that popular is that you tend to get people who are enablers and not people who are looking out for your best interest going, hey, dude, you don't want to be spending like this. And I know you only live once. You've made a lot of money. But what was that movie, Brewster's Millions? You know, was
Brewster's Millions? What a pull. Oh, what a pull.
Thank you. I'm here to pull something like that.
It's a movie that taught me what an asset was when I was a kid. Remember, at the end of the 30 days, he can't have any assets. He gets $30 million. This is from the early 80s. Richard Pryor, John Candy. John Candy, he's a pitcher on a minor league baseball team. And he gets a $30 million inheritance. But if at the end of the 30 days, he has no money and no assets, he gets the real inheritance, which is $300 million. If he has any assets at all or a dollar left, all the money goes to this bank. Remember how he spends all the money? You remember?
I forget. It's a movie I think I've only seen once or twice, so yeah, I forget.
I can tell you. Political campaign. That's how he figures out this is how you can spend all the money and have nothing left at the end of it. That's a fun movie. He can only spend 10% in anyone's place. He can only gamble away a certain amount of it. So he goes and puts money on the long shots. One of them wins. That's fun movie. Yeah, right. And then it ends up Eric's nailing it. He ends up getting burned because he gets a deposit. He does a deposit and gets and forgets about the deposit till the last minute. He also buys a rare stamp and mails it, so he doesn't have it's no longer his asset anymore. It's a good one. And then he runs the campaign to vote for none of the above. That's so good. Good
but
ball.
You talk about 1.1 billion, and that's just boxing. I mean, he's had other business ventures. So let's assume half has gone to, well, he hadn't paid the government. He owes them $7 million. Yeah. But half goes to your promoters and posse and entourage and all that. Still spending $500 million.
Hundreds of millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions.
Do you feel sorry for him?
No, I don't feel sorry for Floyd Mayweather. Do I? Did no. He flaunted it. You can't feel sorry for the guy. I mean, he put it in everyone's face. Money Mayweather. I don't think you can feel sorry for a guy like that. I feel sorry for the you watch the 30 for 30 broke, which some people have talked about in the comment section already. Those guys you can feel sorry for. They didn't understand it. Floyd Mayweather for decades, knew it, flaunted it, threw it in everybody's face. And like there were people along the way that said, hey, and publicly who said, hey man, you shouldn't do it this way. And he gave them a middle finger. I don't think anybody can feel sorry for Floyd Mayweather. I think this is probably about one of the most predictable things.
Would money change you? Meaning, if I gave you $1 billion,
yes,
I would still be a tight ass. I swear. I mean, I would spend, but I'd be like, $1,100 for 4 new tires? You kidding me?
By the way, listen, the all-wheel drive, the guys told me you want to do all 4 at one time.
You scared me, so I went and bought the other 3.
Did you? Okay, I wasn't trying to scare you. I wasn't trying to scare you.
You scared the hell out of me.
I wasn't trying. I was just trying to share the information that I was given.
And I'm glad you passed that information along because I had a nail in one of my tires, my wife's car's tires, and I'm like, their quote was way expensive. They wanted $2,500 for 4 new tires.
Golly.
So I said, put 1 on. And then I said, go somewhere else and look for tires. And
tires are crazy expensive.
They really are. Really, really crazy.
Crazy expensive for tires. That's an industry where they've got us by the balls.
Yeah,
they've got us.
What do you need? What do you need? You need a tire.
Yep. And they
got any retreads? You got any retreads I can put on that?
The tire industry, they can get together and they can say, "Hey, let's get these tires to fail after so many miles." Then they got to come back. They got to buy more tires from us. They got us, folks. That's how they get you. The tires. That's how they get you.
And here's where they get you. When you buy 4, and if you spend an extra $300, you can come in for the next year to fix any problems like a nail.
This is why I wait till Willis does the thing, buy 3, get 1 free.
Yeah.
You need 4.
And I would have gone to Willis, but that would have been like 2 hours for tires, 2 hours home. So I'm like,
going to save you the cash.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
So I'm glad the guys at Willis helped you out there with that, because
with the advice, yes.
Who knows what that would have run you.
Thank you, Carlstad. Appreciate it.
He's the man.
Though you should have told, as soon as Ross told you my story, you should have got on the phone with me and told me instead of hoping that Ross would just tell me. But Ross is a good friend, looking out for me, has my back.
Carlson knew Ross can't keep information to himself. Well, anyway.
Can you still buy like retreads? Can you buy retread tires? I don't know how the tire industry works. I've never done that.
I think so. There's still I don't know. I don't think it's advised. but who am I? I don't know.
2 things I know about tires. 1, they're a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
2, that if a truck blows one out going down the interstate, do not hit the tire. It will fuck your car up. Big time.
You watch the Shane Gillis show Tires? About the tire
I didn't like it.
Oh, really?
No. I had a hard time getting into it, and I'm just like, not for me. I don't know what it was. Just wasn't for me. Because he's had, 2 seasons now?
I think so.
Yeah.
The Floyd Mayweather thing, Travis, there's not a lot in there that is shocking or surprising. Big money, big problems, man. Biggie taught me that.
And I don't blame, you're going to say, well, why did this place take a check? Well, I mean, it's Floyd Mayweather. I mean, I would trust Floyd Mayweather. I don't know if you heard what happened at the College World Series.
But it is kind of strange, a check.
But Pat McAfee did a show in Omaha for the College World Series on Friday. He came in a day early, and he went to Rocco's Pizza where they do the Jell-O shot challenge. Where it's basically a scoreboard for who can drink the most.
Right.
Well, he walked in. He's like, how does this work? And the GM was like, you should have called ahead. And he's like, well, I didn't want to call ahead. I just, I come here and I like buying drinks for people. He goes, can I just write a check? He goes, no, your check's going to bounce. This is after it. Yeah, the GM told him your check's going to bounce. And he's like, okay, you want me to put it on a card? He goes, how'd the guy who bought $300,000 put it on a card? He goes, what card has a $300,000 limit? I'd like to know. Because I'd never heard of that. So, but he ended up writing like a $30,000 check and bought $30,000 worth of
$30,000 checks is how you do it.
You want me to do? But I get why, so, well, you Floyd Mayweather, we know who you are. You're going to be good for it. Because if you take a card, you got to, charge them an extra 4% for the credit card fees.
See, these are the things I don't think about when we start talking about a $300,000 bill. How's a person? How do I would have assumed, honestly, in the real estate world, that's done with like wire transactions. I mean, everything is confirmed. Hell, Travis, I've got somebody. You have to have your pre-approval from Gary Presnall for $200,000 before I can go open you a house over by the fairgrounds. But when you have lots of money, you got lots of money. Your money, Mayweather. Here's the ring. You're good for it. We know where to find you.
It's just a $200,000 watch.
You said it was December of 20 when?
It was New Year's Eve of 2024.
Okay, so man, a couple years now.
Yeah, and that's how long they kept it. I'll credit the jewelry store. Hey, you don't want to look bad for taking a check, but you also don't want to embarrass one of the most famous fighters of all time.
You just hit on the first important point is an important point there that we forget about. It's embarrassing. They don't want to come out and say, "Oh man, we did something we shouldn't have did. We sold the house without verifying they had funds."
Do you remember? And this is because most places don't take checks anymore. I'm sure there's people. I still write checks every now and then. I have a bunch of checks, but when I was growing up, and you would go into a gas station or a grocery store, and if you had bounced a check, they hung your check up.
Oh wow, yeah,
they're like,
absolutely.
Hey, these people bounce checks.
I will tell you, Trav. That vaguely remember that, but that feels like a small town thing more than.
Absolutely.
I'm sure I saw that over there on the Super Value at Lee Township.
Well, if you bounce a check, we're going to go ahead and hang it up and let everybody know that you don't have the funds. I mean, I don't blame a place of business for doing that.
Well, now what they do is that give us your card. You're going to keep a tab. If you don't close the tab, we add 20% at the end or something like that.
The good old small towns. Bounce a check, we'll embarrass you. We'll make sure to do that.
What was your? You called me yesterday.
It was the credit card fees. It was. I called you. I said, and you and I are on opposite sides here. It's like they've moved us away from a cashless society. They want us to be a cashless society. They don't want you to carry cash anymore. And all of a sudden, everybody's charging credit card fees. And it's like, when I owned my coffee shop, I hated paying the monthly credit card fees, but I also told myself that's part of doing business. Most people play with a card. But now, Mary called me. She became an official Louisiana resident yesterday, got her Louisiana driver's license fine. She goes, Dad, they charged me 4% to get my driver's license because if I would have known that they wanted cash, I would have brought cash. I mean, when you're a 24-year-old, you don't carry cash.
I think you're right. They've pushed us in, and when by they, we have been pushed into being cashless. Everybody takes a card. I mean, dude, I remember me telling you last year when I would go to Eli's baseball games, it cost me more to pay with cash. It was $8. I swear to God, to get a ticket to I talked about this, to get a ticket to go watch a sophomore baseball game, freshman baseball game. It was $9 for cash, $8 if you used a card. What? I even asked people, why is that? We don't know. We don't know. But then you go to a place like Tasty Tacos and you walk in and they'll say, hey, we'll give you a discount. You use cash, we'll give you a discount.
Gas stations are doing it now.
They're trying to get you to use cash.
Yes. There's a restaurant here in town where they proudly say, we only accept cards to make it easy. Well, then don't pass the fee cost on to me. I would rather, listen, I understand the fees. Raise your prices 3%. I'd rather just get the bill instead of say, hey, here's the bill. Oh, plus a transaction fee. Pain in the ass.
We are so old.
We are old. Very, very old.
You know what I don't like about my bill? I'll tell you what I don't like about my bill.
Hey, how about some dad's distilled wisdom? Tomorrow we're going to be giving away either this bourbon or single malt men's ring that's made out of whiskey barrels. And they're super, super cool. I love jewelry. Ross, I'd wear this. This is absolutely phenomenal for Fiskus Jewelers.
And that's just one of about the 4 or 5 different models or versions that Noel has up there. That you would love them. I promise you that. I saw these and I was like, I'm not much of a ring guy, and I was like, these are really, really cool. And a couple of different colors or shades, whatever you want to call it. And the cool part about it is you get to hang out at Fiskus for a little while when you get up there.
So all you have to do is email me, Travis@therushradio.com, your ultimate dadism or advice. Got one coming in from Austin today.
Okay.
He from his actions, the advice I was able to observe and emulate. Work hard for the sake of working hard. Treat your wife like a queen. Have your butt in the pew every Sunday. And be stern with kids when it's time for business, but be kind with them when it's time to play. Be a kid with them when it's time to play. But he also said this. He also would never swear or fart in front of people because it's rude, but I haven't been able to utilize that advice yet. I like it. So tomorrow we're going to be giving away the ring. Email me your dadism or your dad advice, and we'll pick a winner tomorrow.
I put a star by Austin. I like that. That felt like a country song. That felt like Daddy's Hands. Remember the song Daddy's Hands?
Daddy's hands.
Yeah. Soft and kind when I was crying. Daddy's hands were hard as steel when I'd done wrong. That was Austin. That was Austin's song.
What's another dad song?
Farting thing. Man, I'm impressed by that. Because I'm with my Cassie fella.
I love to fart in front of my kids. Like we're just sitting outside last night. I just lifted up the butt cheek.
But you think it's gross that somebody would fart in a public bathroom.
Yeah, I do.
That's so weird. I
know.
I haven't been in a public bathroom since you told me that without thinking about that.
Though I have been in a urinal with the I want to go. Aren't these things weird? Aren't these things? I've been wanting to do that, but I gotta wait. Don't you hate? But I gotta have the right person next to me. It can't be a complete stranger. It's gotta be like a buddy going, aren't these things weird?
This is great. Don't you hate these things?
Megan's probably watching right now going, what show am I going into?
Brian signed me up for exactly.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, God. Yeah.
We won't. Go ahead.
No, you know, we were talking about buying things, and I don't know if you're into the customer satisfaction surveys or not, but Chick-fil-A has been dethroned as the most customer satisfied restaurant out there. They've had the title for like 10 years.
Yuck.
Yes.
Well earned. Well deserved there, Chick-fil-A.
Jersey Mike's is now number 1 on the customer satisfaction list, overtaking Chick-fil-A.
What?
Yes. People are friendlier at Jersey Mike's. Number 1.
Listen, I'm not knocking the Jersey Mike's people. Have you been to a Jersey Mike's?
I have once.
Yeah, no knock on the Jersey Mike's folks. They do a wonderful job. You walk in, they're behind a counter. They're in different categories. Jersey Mike's
the category is fast food service or quick service.
Listen, I'm okay with I like me a Jersey Mike's, and the people there are wonderful. That I won't knock it. It's not the same as Chick-fil-A. You roll up to a Chick-fil-A in the middle of the day. That place is a well-oiled machine, and they treat everybody like you're the first customer of the day. They're all happy to see you, even if they're faking it, getting paid to say it. Again, like Jersey Mike's, not the same category. That's ridiculous.
You want to guess who finished dead last?
McDonald's.
McDonald's finished last?
Dude.
Tied with Dairy Queen. Tied with Dairy Queen.
I can appreciate that. Dairy Queen is like the Quick Trip of... Like at one point, Dairy Queen had its shit together. Now you walk into a Dairy Queen and you're like, get out of here. But you've been to a Baskin Robbins lately? Have you snuck into a Baskin Robbins?
I haven't.
I tell you what. Dialed in.
It's where it's at, huh?
They're dialed in at Baskin Robbins. McDonald's is, again, it's in all the categories and it's dead last because it has just, what has McDonald's done to itself?
Go to your screen and make your order and pick it up. I mean,
do not try to talk to a human being inside of a McDonald's. The entire process is designed for you not to interact with anybody. Interesting.
Yeah.
Again, no knock on Jersey Mike's. Love me a good Jersey Mike's. Chick-fil-A, it's a science there.
Coming up in hour number 2, it's our Hour with the AD. Megan Franklin from Northern Iowa is scheduled to join us. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search the Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you a My Dream Job is No Job millionaire. A front row tickets to every show millionaire. A hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie millionaire.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles millionaire. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
And these.
you can change your life for life. Play today.
At Iowa Floor Covering, we believe great floors start with great service. Whether you're looking for a plush carpet, durable LVP, timeless hardwood, stylish laminate, or beautiful tile, including custom tile showers, we'll help you find the perfect fit. No pressure, no pushy sales tactics, just honest guidance from a team that listens. DIY Weekend Warrior, we've got the products and advice to set you up for success. Iowa Floor Covering, floors you'll love from people you can trust.
There are a lot of reasons to want a self-driving mower from Iowa Mobotics.
Being automated gives me more time to do my hobbies.
I travel so much for work that I don't have time to take care of the lawn, but I still care about how it looks.
And I'm just lazy. Gives me time to work in the wood shop instead of spending it on the mower.
It works in my schedule.
And I just really hate doing it.
No matter your reason, with Iowa Mobotics, spend less time mowing, more time living.
Hi, I'm John Linares with Willis Lexus, and we're kicking off the summer with an all-new, brand-new, from the ground up, redesigned ES350 in stock. Come check it out. And we have some additional June specials, up to $6,000 off on RZ or 0%, and we have 3.75 for 48 months across the board. See your sales consultant for more details. I invite you to stop in and experience amazing, or visit us online at willislexus.com.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bread, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Try our newly rebranded granola. Specially handmade, our amazing granola makes for a delightful treat. You can order online, purchase at local grocery retailers, or find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday. We look forward to serving.
The following advertisement is for people who like to save money.
Do you or a loved one suffer from chronic overspending, getting less but paying more? Then you may have a case of big HVAC. Now is the time to try Priority One. We set our own prices, which means you pay for what you need, not for anything else. And if you need a heating service or a new furnace, now is the time to try Priority One.
Side effects of Priority One include increased happiness, extra peace of mind, and bonus cash for whatever you want. Please use responsibly.
Start spreading the news, cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City, we can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City, all this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
The Rush, presented by Willis Automotive, is back because apparently Travis and Ross have even more to say.
Hour number 2 of the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. And Willis Automotive is hiring sales and leasing consultants across all of their brands. At Willis, you have the unique opportunity to cross-sell across a wide lineup. If you're looking to grow your career and work with multiple brands, this is your place. Start it at willisauto.com. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Watching on YouTube this morning, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like. Leave your comments in the comments section. And you can follow us on our social media channels. We've got the Facebook page, the Instagram page, TikTok, X, you name it, we got it. Yesterday, we started our Hour with the AD series, and it continues today. We're going to welcome to the Rush Radio Show for the very first time the athletic director at Northern Iowa, Megan Franklin. Thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us today.
Well, good morning. How are you? Can you hear
Very
me loud
good.
and clear?
Got you great. Yes. Thanks for giving us time this morning. How are you?
Doing great. Well, we've had thunderstorms through the area this morning, so I'm not in the exact location I wanted to be. A little more interesting, but I needed some more light. It's very dark out, so
The wind was howling at my house this morning. Like it sounded like winter. Like I could hear it hitting through the glass in that way that it was almost like, God, it sounds cold.
Yes.
Right.
Well, ours was thunder and lightning. My house was shaking, so there was no sleeping in. This was a perfect day for it. I was awake and ready.
So you're at the house, and you didn't have to go to the office for this. You're tucked away at home right now, I take it.
I am. I thought about going to the office. That's the nice thing I love about Cedar Falls is I could pop over pretty quickly, but decided to stick it out here.
All right, can we just get into, let's just start with that. You're in Cedar Falls now. We know you spent time in Des Moines. You were at Drake. I know that you are a Nebraska native, but can you just kind of walk us through who is Megan Franklin?
Well, yeah, you're right. I am a Husker alum and started my undergrad and master's there. I was a student athletic trainer. Often people ask me what sport I played. They'll learn pretty quickly if they see me try to play a sport. That wasn't my path to athletics administration, but student athletic trainer at Lincoln Southeast High School and in Lincoln and then at Nebraska. What people don't often know is I did go my freshman year to St. Olaf College. The Golden Girls, Rose always talks about St. Olaf. And so I was an athletic trainer there. I sang in the freshman women's choir and then transferred back to Nebraska. So that was my undergraduate career, master's degree at Nebraska in higher education and student affairs. And then needed a job. So I applied for a job at Nebraska and worked in their academic area in the life skills program, which is kind of student affairs and athletics. Then went to Virginia Tech as director of student life in athletics and was there for 4 years at Virginia Tech in athletics. And then after the shootings at Virginia Tech, I worked in the Office of Recovery and Support with the students who'd been physically injured and were returning to campus and supported them for 3 years until the last student graduated. I was a director of operations for the Day of Remembrance and worked with the archives, the library, special collections on archiving the items that came in from the memorial. And then I went into institutional research for a couple of years at Virginia Tech and in administrative assessment, strategic planning. And I missed athletics. And so the Drake position was open. I applied for the position at Drake. And there was an aspect of that position that was an assessment and outcomes, strategigic planning. And so it all meshed together and got back into athletics in 2012 at Drake. And then, I've been there. I was there 12 years and at UNI for the last 2. So there you go. Long story short,
Well, let's go back to Blacksburg
Yeah.
because you were helping people recover, but how traumatic was that for you? I mean, that's a pretty infamous event that took place.
It will be marking 20 years in April of 2027. So just gathered with my colleagues a couple weeks ago to talk about the 20th. So continue to be involved and connected with Virginia Tech in a meaningful way. And, athletics served such an important role in the early days. You may remember Coach Beamer was very instrumental. One of the things that was interesting from an athletics perspective is the New York Yankees came to Blacksburg and played a game against the Virginia Tech baseball team. We just had a tremendous outpouring of love and support. And what we know is there's always light in the darkest of times. And that's when we really could feel that and the love and support around the country at that time. But yes, in the initial days, that was challenging and moments we'll never forget. And then for me, the Dean of Students had called and asked if I'd be interested in helping the students who've been physically injured and supporting them to return to campus. And so I did leave athletics to serve the institution in that way.
That's an amazing perspective to have. Even 20 years later, when people come to you with problems, that's a very good perspective to have worked through.
It was, it's amazing to think that, it takes a village, right? Yeah. So we often say with the colleagues I worked with in the Office of Recovery and Support that we had such an amazing group there were 7 of us that worked in that office, and that it was a tremendous counselors who were working with different, pockets of the most affected victims, families, and, our students. We call our students, they're alumni now. But many brave people walking the path of grief, and, how to continue that 20 years later.
Wow.
So kind of a non-traditional path to athletics, or did you always want to be in athletics? Because your undergrad was education. Did you want to be a kindergarten teacher, a high school teacher, or did you say, I'm always want to be in higher ed and I want to get to athletics?
Yeah. Well, what we say is that students on average change majors 4 times. So when I started college, I wanted to be a physical therapist. I'd been a student athletic trainer, and then I took biology 101, and then I was like, oh yeah, okay, that's right. That's yeah. Then I ended up in community health. And what's interesting is public health. And what's interesting is I was just talking to a donor a couple weeks ago, and he said to me, you still are in public health. I really believe in athletics' role in a greater good, and how athletics is one area where you can bring people together across, perspective, philosophy, and cheer for one. And it's community building. And so, what I always loved as a child, our family's from Cozad, Nebraska, a small town in central Nebraska. And on Friday nights, everybody went to the athletics events. Growing up Friday night, you were either at the football field, you were in the gym, you were cheering on your team, but you also were a community. That's where you saw your friends. That, for us, our elementary principals sat with us in the elementary section, and it's so much fun. And our parents didn't have to deal with us for the game. But I loved that. I loved that athletics could help build community and had such a vital role in community. And that I didn't know then, but that's where I'm thriving in athletics, is the ability to build community through athletics.
Who's your biggest influence coming up? I take it you worked for or with Steve Peterson, who hates my guts. He does.
Get in line, Steve.
He really hates me. You worked, I forget who the AD was at I'm just being honest.
Okay.
At Virginia Tech, Brian Harden. Who's been your biggest influence in that administrative role?
Well, when I first started at Nebraska, as a student athletic trainer, Bob Devaney was still coming into his office. Bill Byrne was the athletics director at Nebraska. And when I was at Nebraska, he was, really leading the way in reseeding the stadium. They called him Dollar Bill. Byrne. And that was the first experience of someone that was really leading from a business mindset. He was a business perspective versus the coach, kind of. And then Tom Osborne was the head coach when I was a student athletic trainer. And then Jim Weaver was at Virginia Tech when I got there. And then Frank Beamer was the head football coach at the time. Seth Greenberg, you of course are familiar with him. He was the men's basketball coach at Virginia Tech at the time. And I always enjoyed when he would, I didn't want him to lose, but I did enjoy when he would go on ESPN and be a guest commentator. I thought, gosh, he's good at that. And he is. But I think one of the things that's been really neat for me is Bob Bowlesby was someone that I looked up to early in my career and not ever knowing he would hand me the keys to my first AD chair. And so that was really an interesting moment. I've also watched some of the younger, Brian has been, I really enjoyed working with Brian. And Sandy Hatfield Club gave me the opportunity at Drake. And I learned a lot from her in early days, getting back into athletics. A tremendous leader at Drake. And then Brian came in, and I really enjoyed working with Brian. I continue to talk to him often, as you'd expect in the conference, being a conference colleague. But I think for me, I tend to watch, I watched Bob, I've watched, it's been interesting to watch some of my younger, I really enjoyed watching Ed McLaughlin at VCU. He's done a nice job there for a long time. And connected with him when I was interim athletics director a little bit from time to time on some different questions as I was leading at that time at Drake, on how he would manage through a couple of situations I was working through. So tried to toggle a couple of different generations. And now what's nice is I can call anyone based on the issue I'm working through, whatever it is. So,
all right, you got into this with a little bit of a background in goal management. What are the goals of an athletic director? What is your job, and how do you judge success?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. We just worked on a strategic plan and released that. It's really valid for me. I'm a value-centric leader. And so for us, it was important that we identified our values, and then how do those values work into action items. And so our strategic plan is built on values. As I mentioned before, it starts from leveraging the power of the jersey for a greater good, and that our values, we lead with love. And what does that look like in an athletics department? And so it's service to others in the department and in the campus and in the community. And that plays out in and through sport. And so it's through sport itself. It's through, being a good partner on campus. How can we continue to grow camps, grow opportunities for revenue for our, housing and dining friends by bringing more on-campus, opportunities through the Unidome is also a major service piece. Obviously a civic center, if you will, in Cedar Falls. How are we continuing to grow the programming with that? And then through our service to community. So our student athletes, as you know, in all athletics departments, service is a big part of what a student athlete's experience is in the community, but also in thinking about the economic development in the community. How are we an economic driver in the community? How are we building pride for our alumni and our donors to continue to be engaged with not only with athletics, but with the university as well. So how are we the saying the front porch, but in and through value-driven goals, and then how we measure those goals through our tactics and those sorts of things. So
okay,
was it
strategic? Value-centric strategic plan.
Was it strategic to wait, because you've been on the job a little over 2 years now, to wait that long to do a strategic plan to get your staff to know you, your coaches to know you, everybody trust one another, then you do a strategic plan because you've built trust and loyalty that way?
Well, we've worked on it. So we've been working on it since about 6 months in. And our goal had been to release it basically a year, just January of 2026, January, February. It was important to me that it was a department project. And so how we engaged everyone in the department at all staff meetings, how we engaged our department, I call it, department heads, the leaders of different units, the head coaches, and then the iterations of the theme. We also were marrying it up with our university. So it's just a 3-year strategic plan. And really in athletics these days, 3 years is about as far as you can look. But the good news is it's value-based. And so I, wouldn't anticipate too many changes with how we've written it, but that we will marry it up. The university is starting to cultivate the planning for the 2028 and beyond strategic plan. So we'll be married to that now.
It sounds like stability. Stability was always a big part of the. I mean, I've been a Des Moines guy my whole life. You've been a Midwesterner your whole life with Nebraska and Iowa. So sans those years at Virginia Tech, which we'll excuse for the experience. But you and I was always a place with a lot of stability. Was that something when you were hired that you've been in there's been a lot of turnover in some of these major jobs since you've gotten there. Was that stability something that was talked about or stressed at all when you were hired?
Well, it was attractive to me. Part of being in the league for 12 years, I knew Northern Iowa, UNI, and I had a relationship a little bit with the coaches. So they knew me just from being in the league for so long. And I do attend most of the championships at my role at Drake. And so we had the opportunity, but you heard me talk when I was first hired about legacy. I mean, that head coaches room are the deans of their respective sports. And there hadn't been a coaching hire by my predecessor. And those coaches had been dedicated and obviously found value building their careers and legacy in Cedar Falls. And that's attractive when you think about how can I help now come in and continue to help them alongside them as they steward their careers. I enjoy coaching coaches. I enjoy helping them thrive in this time in their careers. And how could I be of service as they continue to rewrite the history books? And so I really came in with a service mindset of how can I help them along? How can we continue to build with, them thriving in, I think Bobby just, marked 30 years. We've got, and that's with her continuing, obviously her student athlete career and her coaching career and so on. But how can we help our coaches continue to be, as passionate as they were year one? And how can I help them continue to be, and they are, each class is new, right? Each roster is new every year. Yeah. And so helping them continue to have the resources they need to thrive.
Ross and I were talking about this the other day, how much an AD spends with their coaches. I've seen ADs that were micromanagers, some that just said, hey, just go succeed. I'm hands off. What's the balance with you and how much time do you spend with your coaches?
From a entire coaching staff perspective, we have a monthly head coaches meeting. So we work and we want to make sure those agendas are worthy of their time. So we do want to instill community amongst the head coaches and their leadership lens and how, in the decision making of the department. And then there are 3 sports supervisors. I'm one of them. So I have direct supervision for 3 sport teams. And then the other 2 senior and associate athletics directors have split the other sports. So I meet weekly with the head coaches I supervise, but we talk, more often than that. So I do have quite a bit of contact with the student. And then I do text with our other coaches. I supervised 14. I had 14 direct reports at Drake. And so I had a lot of contact.
That's a lot.
So 3 is you can handle the 3. Yeah.
Well, of course,
I know you got more than that.
And there's others, but so I enjoyed that. And so for me, I've had to work on, I want our coaches, while I don't get to see them as often as I had been used to in my other roles, I want them to know I care about them and I'm there for them. And I'm as accessible as they want me to be for them.
Can we ask which 3 sports are that you're the direct?
Yeah, football, men's and women's basketball.
Okay,
the big 3.
Got Schwab off to somebody else. Good for you, smart lady. See how she delegated, Travis?
Doug's worked with Stacia Eggers on our staff for years, and they've got their rhythm. And so I just try to, navigate that. But no, I like Doug and I, Doug and I worked together at Virginia Tech.
That makes sense. Yeah, okay.
So I worked with all 3 of the coaches in Iowa at Virginia Tech. So Tom was the head coach when I got there, and Doug was assistant coach. And then Kevin Dresser followed. So I've worked with all 3 of them. And then, I'm trying to remember the new head coach at Iowa State. But anyway, he was a student athlete. Who's the new head coach at Iowa State?
We're talking about Coach Metcalf.
Yeah, Metcalf.
Okay.
So he was a student. Yeah, he was a student. So yeah, it was so interesting. Virginia Tech grabbed all those coaches in one way or another. He transferred. But yeah, a little fun fact.
So you've got to hire a new football coach in Todd Stepsis, who you knew when you were at Drake. You've hired Kyle Green. I do want to go back for basketball. I do want to go back to Ben Jacobson, because the dedication and loyalty he showed Northern Iowa over that many years, because he could have left several times if he wanted to. How early did he kind of let you know that was going to happen? I mean, was it when everybody else found out, or was he like, hey, I think this might be the year I'm going to go talk to the school?
I knew, basically when he knew. He was pretty open with me that he was not looking to leave. I mean, that was not his, and he said that too. And so I was not anticipating that going into postseason, that was something he was interested in. And then the opportunity came up. He was very honest with me and open with me about it when those conversations started. And I appreciated that. That's what I often say to any professional that I work with: please let us know when you start the conversation, not when you've ended it. And so, but it was as you can imagine, and in coaching searches, the window was short. But he did inform me when he was initially engaged. But I think that was an opportunity that came up for him. And, I really support his decision in that it was an opportunity that if he's interested in that, if that's something he'd like to, if this is a career opportunity he wants to pursue that will help him grow and thrive as, in his life, that's important to me. And so I have that conversation with every colleague in our department. I like to have one-on-ones in the summer with every staff member. And one of the questions I ask them is, what are your career goals and how can I help you be able to grow in your career? And that's, so for him, if that was something that was important to his career and how he wants to continue to impact sport and student athletes, then I support him to do that.
I think you use Jake now as kind of the poster child for the way to leave. I mean, I've heard nobody say a bad thing. I've heard nobody wish ill will. And in my lifetime as a sports fan, for the most part, when a coach leaves, it's see ya, good riddance. You don't wear our colors anymore. We don't care about you. I see the exact opposite. I see a lot of people that are like, oh man, really rooting for Jake as he moves on here. So that, I think that says a lot about who he is as well. But maybe that is something that you can use now as an example for people going forward to say, hey, if you decide to leave, here's the playbook that I saw work really well.
Yeah. And I think for us, it was important that he had the opportunity to have the press conference. I think we all feel like we have a relationship with Coach Jacobson.
Yeah.
And that when we talked about it and talked about the press conference, I thought it was important for him to do that. And we had the Monday press conference. It just worked out to be able to. That timing worked so well, and that was part of that goodbye. And I think people really enjoyed hearing from him, and for him to know how much he's cared about, and it was a nice way to put the bow on it. Yeah.
I tell you what, we're going to take a commercial break. I let you know that we'd have to do that at some point during our hour with the AD. Megan Franklin from Northern Iowa is with us. As we head to break, just remember that sometimes the key to feeling better comes from being seen for what you need. Urology Center of Iowa has a dedicated men's health wellness center with services from low testosterone to managing the effects of aging. But more than that, UCI is a place to go when you want to be seen like a man, not a patient. You don't want somebody else's treatment. You deserve yours. Schedule an appointment with UCI today at iowauro.com. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you a My Dream Job is No Job millionaire. A front row tickets to every show millionaire. A hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie millionaire.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles millionaire. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
And these.
you can change your life for life. Play today.
Hey everybody, Mason Miller, sales manager out here at Mini of Des Moines, and this summer we already have some hot offers. It is convertible season, and right now you can get a Mini Cooper S convertible with rates as low as 2.99 out to 48 months. If you're hoping for more family fun in the sun, you can get an all-new Mini Countryman with rates as low as 0.9 out to 48 months. And current Mini owners, you get up to $2,000, and if you haven't had a Mini yet, you can get up to $1,500 on top of that great rate. For more information on these exciting offers and more, visit your favorite Mini motoring advisor or us online at miniofdesmoines.com.
So I think what's unique about Urology Center of Iowa is that we are a truly independent, single specialty clinic.
We have a mantra that the patient comes first, the group comes second, and we as individual surgeons come last.
When I meet with a patient for the first time, I want them to feel heard. I never want them to feel like I'm in a rush.
Just watching the change that you can make in a patient's life, it's everything.
Schedule an appointment at iowauro.com.
Fresh, wild walleyes. This summer, point your compass north to Ballard's Resort on Lake of the Woods. Ballard's Lake of the Woods long-standing family resort offers a pole-in-hand guided fishing experience along with all-inclusive packages that include lodging and meals. Chase 10-pound trophies with the walleye capital of the world's most established fleet. Your adventure for fresh, wild walleyes awaits at Ballard's Resort. Set the hook at ballardsresort.com.
Hi, it's Noel. At Fiskus Jewelers, we're honored by the fact that our customers continue to come back on purpose, and that trust means everything to us. For years, we've been privileged to be a part of life's most meaningful moments, and we never take that responsibility lightly. We proudly offer the largest inventory in Ankeny, cutting-edge custom designs, including free CAD drawings, and a team that takes the time to get it right. Thank you for choosing us year after year. Fiskus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Hi, I'm Tom, owner of Central City Liquors. Our customers love us because we offer a large selection at an affordable price. And to keep costs low for you, we don't splurge on fancy promotions and expensive equipment. This commercial is being shot on a phone taped to a stick. Anyway, we are proud to announce our new rewards program that allows customers to save more the more they buy. So don't spend more to pay for fancy commercials. Save at Central City, where we know what's important. I told you we should have used duct tape.
Looking for a new car that fits your lifestyle and your budget? Willis Nissan has you covered. The affordable and fuel-efficient Nissan Kicks to the spacious and high-tech Nissan Rogue. Willis Nissan has the vehicle you need for your weekday commute, summer road trips, and everything in between. And right now at Willis Nissan, you can take advantage of 0% APR financing on select new Nissan models. Don't wait. Get the best deal on the perfect Nissan at Willis Nissan. Stop into our showroom today or check us out online at willisnissan.com.
The Rush, presented by Willis Automotive, returns now with fresh sports takes and at least one unnecessary rant.
Central City Liquors in Des Moines is your go-to for the best prices and great picks. From bourbon lovers to vodka fans and beyond, you'll find a massive selection and some killer deals. Friendly, knowledgeable staff that help you make the right choice every time. Next time you're planning a get-together, stop by Central City Liquors first. Our hour with the AD continues. Megan Franklin is our guest from Northern Iowa. And it's a great first hour. We got a lot to dig in hour number 2. Let's start off with the state of the NCAA right now. The 5 for 5, the eligibility rules. Your thoughts on that when it comes to their transfer portal? Because Northern Iowa's probably affected more than most with the transfer portal, or when you have people who are successful. Your thoughts on the legislation of the 5 for 5?
Yeah, the age eligibility is the language they're using, and it's been an interesting conversation because it's moved fairly quickly through the legislative process and then through the council and so on. But I do think they're trying to cut down on waivers because waivers become confusing. So if one person can get a waiver, why can't what is waivers? And so they're trying to just bring more clarity. And one of the things I think is important is that eligibility conversation in the NCAA is how old can you end up being to play? And so, being able to say a birthday or a trigger point that starts your clock and an end date that ends your clock, and then play as many years as you can in that window. I think I like it. I think it's going to cut down on confusion once we can settle on what that clock start time is. I know hockey had some different conversations they wanted to work through because of how their model is for hockey and for post high school play, and then how old they end up being. And I think they've worked through that a little bit. Not perfect for them, but better for hockey. So that was a little bit of a modification, but that we will have clarity. And so I think what you're starting to see is even what's interesting is parents holding kids back in 7th and 8th grade before they start 9th grade and trying to play with age, which is an interesting byproduct of this conversation. So hopefully some of this will get cleaned up. But with that age eligibility requirement, I've got a 12-year-old going into 7th grade, and it hadn't occurred to me to start to modify his education. But I did it. Enjoys math. He's going to be in 8th grade math and, second semester, 7th grade. So we're not trying to rig the system. He just qualified for that math.
I thought my son was going to be an athlete, so I held him back. And, I started a year later out of kindergarten. I planned it really early.
Yeah, you played the long game. Okay.
Yeah, but he's not an athlete, so it didn't work out.
Sounds like you and I had the same athletic career, because I knew 35 years ago that I wasn't going to be an athlete. It made it real easy for me. Yeah. But I made the same mistake with my kids. As I started them early, thinking I was taking advantage of some sort of academic thing. Not considering athletics at all, and neither one of them will be athletes. But it's interesting to me how many people are already considering that stuff in 7th and 8th grade. Man,
that's right. I mean, the most I did was I did kind of want a fall baby to just be a little bit older in the class. Yeah, that's as good as it got. November, I did it. So that's as good as I got for me. But yes,
what's your relationship?
It is an interesting time. The transfer portal, what we have taken pride in, and you've seen that, is being able to retain student athletes. And so a year ago, we had the fewest portal and, student athletes entering the portal in the conference. Belmont, we were second to Belmont, and Belmont doesn't have football. And I thought that boded well, having a new football coach in that season, in that cycle. Now this year, and then also with men's basketball, that same cycle, we had the most returners minutes in the country. So, we've got some pride points there on retention to roster. This cycle, we haven't looked at that analysis yet until we finish this portal. The portal's still open for some sports, but for this spring a little bit. But we'll look at that again. Again, we had men's basketball coaching transition. So, there was more transition there than I think had been stayed. It would have been another year that would have had a high retention rate. So yes, we will have student athletes that will elect as they, like Leon Bond going to Iowa State, made sense for him. He graduated from UNI, so he's an alum. We'll get to continue to stay connected to him. But for me, I'm focused on the experience our student athletes have when they're with us. That I want them to always feel like this is home for them, even if they transfer, that they feel like this is where they felt loved, supported, that they want to continue relationships with us, trying to figure out how do we stay connected with them so that even if they didn't graduate from UNI, how do we continue to keep connected with contact information, their program alumni now? How do we stay connected to these really special young men and women? And they're just trying to navigate this system as well. And how do we support them through that? That's the most important thing for me, is getting to know them. I'm excited to get to know we have our new basketball teams that just started this week. And so those roster, the new student athletes to meet as they get started. So that's my hope, is that they know they really were loved, meeting with Leon and meeting with Will and, making sure they knew that, and talking to Will on the phone as he's trying to make decisions and letting him know some things to think about as he was trying to make that decision. And he's like, well, I haven't thought of that before, and just helping them have a longer view than the short lens that they're thinking about most of the time in their age. So
what's been the best part of being an athletic director so far?
Yeah. Well, I love cheering on our student athletes. So I think that's,
being
for me,
being a cheerleader.
I'm a cheerleader. So I love watching coaches coach. So when I'm at games, I'm watching the game, but I'm not always watching the ball. I'm watching the bench. You can tell a lot about a culture of a team by watching the bench. How do coaches work with each other? How do coaches work with the bench? How is the bench engaged? And I'm watching the game as well. But I'm fascinated by timeouts, how they're managed, what the messaging is, how they're building up. So the core of the locker room is my most important thing.
Where'd you learn that? Is that something that you did when you were? Is that something you learned along the way? That's an interesting thing to watch the bench.
Well, I was a student athletic trainer, so I was with coaches a lot.
Okay.
So I've been behind the scenes for a long time. Again, you just don't understand how your career path works. But being a student athletic trainer at Southeast, we won 7 state championships my senior year. I was around a lot of really good coaches and programs. And so I've been around winning coaches my whole career. And Nebraska, we won 2 football championships when I was there. We won volleyball championship when I was there. It's been something I've been able to hear a lot of coaches talk who don't remember I'm even standing there. So,
yeah.
By the way, Coach Darlington just passed away, the defensive back coach at Nebraska. And I always was with the defensive backs. He was the coach I was always with as a student at football practice. So sweet man, wonderful coach and he was, I was with him when he was working with those guys every practice. So we'll honor him a little bit this morning too. So, but yes, I just listened a lot to coaches, how they've motivated or how they've taught. They're teachers, right?
Yeah.
They're teachers. And so I've enjoyed that. And when I have these weekly meetings with coaches, I often will say to them, hey, did you notice da 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 da? And they'll be like, oh, because they're not watching the bench, or I'll say, I really noticed after that timeout, you went in and talked. And then afterwards, I think every player got more information from every coach. And it was a lot of information. I'm like, I couldn't have done it. I'm like, I don't know how those student athletes do it. They get the head coach and then they've got these assistant coaches, everyone's talking to them, and then they go out there and then they talk to each other. I was like, that was a lot of information in a short period of time, so I like to just talk through it and learn from our coaches, but also just give them some different thoughts from what I've observed that they can't, as they're just trying to navigate the game.
You seem in just the 30 minutes we've been able to chat with you, you seem to like people. That seems to be kind of a common thing. What's the part of the job that you like the least? What's the hardest part of your job?
Well, I mean, of course we'd love unlimited budgets. That's the thing that we'd love, right? So you're asking me that in budget we're at the end of the fiscal year and we're preparing for the next fiscal year. And so, that's the challenge that we all are facing. And, you've heard, my colleagues, and Jamie's talked about some different modeling that, presenting some different ideas and conversation starters. And so I think for us, it's continuing to build the business model and revenue, new revenues is so important. That will always the bread and butter of ticketing and, our corporate sponsorships and those things. But what are other revenue streams that we can be thinking about with being able to provide the opportunities we want to for student athlete experience and for our coaches to be able to schedule, recruit, all the things they need to do in this day of sport.
I'm sure in your monthly meetings, as you come to you prepare for next year's budget, you've got coaches going, well, I needed this much money last year. I need this much money next year to pay players. As an athletic director, how hard is it to go to the same well all the time outside your normal revenue streams, but to boosters and go, hey, every single year I'm going to be asking you for money. Is that hard, or do they expect a return on investment? How does that go down with when you ask people money just straight for NIL?
Yeah, I think it is education for our donors on what is this new recruiting tool. It is now part of the portfolio that some of our coaches have to engage in order to attract student athletes to University of Northern Iowa. And so it's education first, why it's so critically important for teams that this is part of their culture. Obviously we have teams on our portfolio that's not this, NIL rev share isn't the first conversation that they're having, but others it is. Yeah. And so how are we navigating that? And then for them to also know that it is challenging because they're relationship oriented. That's one of the things we take pride in is that our student athletes really become, connected with our fans and with our donors, and that they really do feel like they know each other. And, we have scholarships that endowed scholarships that those donors get to have lunch with their student athlete that has their scholarship, and some of them for 4 years or 5, and they get to really know each other. And so I think that's been the hardest part, is that they are excited to support the student athlete and maybe they transfer. And it's like, well, why am I going to give money to this program that, when we call it competitive excellence, if they're just going to turn around and leave anyway? And so trying to educate them on, the opportunity to, like I've talked about, instill family, instill love, instill a relationship longer than while they may go somewhere else, we'll continue to have a relationship with them. Leon Bond is an example of that, that we'll continue to have that relationship with him. And so, and with Coach Green coming in, there's a connection that continues with our program alumni in so many ways. And so continuing to just really focus on relationship, and donors appreciate that too, that they know that's our focus. Coach Green, Coach Warren, those coaches, they are developers. They are going to grow those student athletes. Those student athletes know that. They're not transactional. And so they will have a transformational experience at UNI, and that they will know that they're loved and then keep that connection.
You've got really interesting perspectives on things. I mean, not just incredible stuff that you went through with your time at Virginia Tech, but you've seen the NCAA from the Division I level. You've seen it from the private school level. And now being a part of the Missouri Valley, we asked Brian Harden this question yesterday. It actually came from one of our listeners. Where do you see the Valley in 5 years? There's been a lot of changes inside the NCAA. The Valley is kind of at the victim of some of the, the result of some of those changes. Where do you see the Valley in 5 years?
Yeah, it's interesting because we work together quite a bit strategically to continue to want to be one of the top 10 conferences in the league, in the country. And, so for us, our bread and butter, we've been strong in men's basketball. We're constantly analyzing our scheduling strategies to be able to do that. But I do feel like we've continued. We're one of the oldest conferences in the country, if not the oldest in the country. The Valley runs deep, right? That's what we like to say. So we come from a strong foundation of schools that have been there a long time, Drake being a founding member of the Valley. So to me, of course, I'm going to say I feel comfortable with how we're moving forward as a league, and that we are scanning the environment, that we are, I feel like Jeff Jackson's doing a nice job in being really connected to the thought leaders in the country, and being mindful. Our presidents are being mindful. We've had a group of presidents that have been in a kind of a subcommittee role for many years, who are in that space of scanning the environment. What do we need to be thinking about from a membership perspective? How do we need to be making sure we're positioned in strong markets? Which, from an athletics director perspective, sometimes is like, well, I don't know if that's the first thing that comes to mind, but, but those kinds of thinking of, being in Chicago is important. Being able, and especially for those of us near Chicago, to want to help from an admissions perspective. So it's interesting, and Big Ten does this well too, right? They're very academic focused. There's many more strands to the Big Ten than athletics. And I think that's when it becomes very interesting. And so when presidents are thinking beyond athletics, sometimes that's a good thing in my mind.
Oh, I said this yesterday. I get the market thing. UNO is just clamoring at the bit to get into the Valley. Okay, Adrian wants in the Valley badly. So, and you being in Nebraska know Omaha and the Valley go really well together. So, but
I was in the league when Creighton was in the league. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When I started in the league, Creighton and Wichita State were in the league, and no, Omaha loves the Valley. That's for sure.
Now, Megan, I'm a Des Moines kid, as I said, through and through. You said you're from what town in Nebraska originally?
Cozad.
Cozad?
Yeah, it's exit 222 on the interstate when you drive to Colorado. So
exit 222.
In between.
That's the one.
That's
the one.
Hey, it's in between Kearney and North Platte.
Do you get off on the right?
You're not quite to Ole's big game and grill yet. If you've been to Ole's, you gotta.
Not that. It's east of that. We're still in the central time zone out there, and summers are fun. It was light, I swear, till 10 o'clock at night. But it is the home of Robert Henry, who's a famous artist. And so it's a great stop. They have a wonderful museum there if you're interested in that, and good restaurant too. So it's a good stop along the way.
So you grew up a Big Red fan then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And I thought I would go into admissions. So that was sort of what I thought I would do in grad school. And so I was a graduate student in admissions. So I traveled the state in my, fleet services vehicle, listening to audiobooks. And
on tape.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
How does NIL work at Northern Iowa? I mean, do you have total say over who gets paid, or do you let coaches do that? Also, when it comes to roster management, how does that work? Because I know what is basketball has 13, 14, women is 15. If they hold back, can they use that scholarship money as NIL if they don't fill those roster spots? How do you game this entire system? Because it's unique.
Yeah. They've gone up. Both men and women's basketball are at 15, so they have the opportunity to fill rosters. And coaches have different strategies on that. So some, with Coach Jacobson, he may have used up to 15. Coach Green, not sure he'll do that, necessarily do that. For us, it's a pool of funds that they have, and it's also changed. It used to be 1-for-1, and now they can equivalencies. They can kind of determine percentages, however they. So basically, the coaches manage that. Okay. The coaches make those decisions. I say, here's your pool. How do you want to manage it? And then they also make decisions on value for each position on their team. And then we talk through that. But basically, they have budgets, and then they work within the budgets. I'd like to review it, obviously, and understand it and their thinking, and I ultimately sign off. But for me, that's part of it, right? If I get too in the weeds, we're in real trouble. And that I hire experts to do their work, and then they need to explain to me their reasoning and work through it. So yes, the coach is the expert on this one, and then I help navigate alongside them.
Does every sport at UNI have NIL funds, or have you limited it to basketball, football, wrestling, and women's basketball? What sports actually utilize NIL funds at Northern Iowa?
So we've opened it up. All of our sports have the opportunity to provide competitive excellence funds. The NCAA program can either be what you consider NIL or Alston. You remember Alston funds? But they consider both of those as part of an NIL rev share program.
Okay.
And so for our team, some of our teams, it doesn't make sense because they're not fully funded. So we're still focused on, what are those packages that we put together, and competitive in a competitive rev share may not make sense for some of our sports. So really our men's and women's basketball teams are what I would call your traditional NIL rev share program that we're involved with right now. And then others, if they have interest in talking through how competitive excellence could look with their team, we also look at, well, what else are we doing before we engage that?
How difficult is that conversation with other athletic directors? You talked about some of the scheduling. I wish I would have written down the phrase that you used there, Megan. It was really good. Scheduling tactics? Scheduling. Is that what you used?
That works.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So, football scheduling, I work with Todd on. So that's something. And I worked with football scheduling at Drake too, before I went to University of Northern Iowa. And then the basketball programs, they really manage their own scheduling, but we are highly involved in those conversations and how we're strategizing that. The league has some parameters and scheduling policies, which helps guide. But then how are we bringing interesting home games, selling tickets, getting fans in the stands? We did expand our home game budget a year ago so that we could have 7 home games in the non-conference, and get fans in the stands early and more often. So worked on that a year ago.
Can you still explain that? You say home game budget, because we think of home games just as income and revenue, that you want to have as many home games as you possibly can because you're going to make, that's where you're making money. When you say budget for more home games, break that down.
Well, you pay people to play. You pay people to come in. And so it costs money. We have to pay, sometimes, $50,000 to $75,000, depending on the opponent, to come play us. Now, if you can do home and homes, this is basketball, men's basketball. If you can do, schedule home and homes, then that helps. And then that helps the budget. Sometimes two for ones where you'll go there 2 and they'll come to us 1. So different models to help with how you can craft the budget and maximize the budget, or come in under budget ideally, but being able to play. I mean, it's hard to get games for us, and especially home games that are a quality opponent that would help us with our net ranking or the wins above board. So yeah,
especially when the adverse is to get paid to go somewhere to play a game.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So we do that, and we also do that too. So we'll be playing at Kansas December 1st.
That's right.
And
how's a game like that? How does a game like that get scheduled or started, or who makes that call?
Kyle calls Bill Self.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And, Coach Green, on that particular game, Coach Green shared at a golf outing Monday night that in talking to Coach Self, he's getting towards the end of his tenure, in coaching, and he wants a revenge game. He wants a revenge game. He wants to get that, he wants to get that.
Hadn't thought of this, see.
Right. And so it'll be fun. Looking forward to being in Allen in Fieldhouse, and I've been there a couple of times as a high school kid, and
that's cool.
Really special place. So look forward to our fans having that experience.
running up on time. Just one last question for you as we wrap it up. A lot of stuff in the news the last couple of weeks as far as gambling goes. What's the education look like for your student athletes when it comes to gambling?
Yeah. Well, every year we're educating our student athletes on gambling, and then we're having frequent emails that go out throughout the year at certain times a year, whether it's the Super Bowl or whether it's the the March Madness brackets. We're constantly educating on gambling, and we had the incidents in our own state as we're that was another time that we then made sure everyone understood the gambling boundaries that they had. There's been conversation about being able to bet on professional sports, for student athletes to be able to bet on professional sports. That was a hot topic a few months ago. It's been several months ago now, but yes, gambling is one of those topics that it's black and white, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Very clear.
Makes sense. Yeah. Megan, we appreciate you giving us a full hour. I know you got
this has
a
been
busy
great
day.
to get to know you.
We'd love to have you come back on sometime too. This has been fun.
I would love to. Enjoy our Des Moines, our greater alumni fan base in Des Moines is valuable to us. So this has been really fun. So thank you so much.
And I'm based in Omaha, so when you brought up George Darlington, I've interviewed George a million times, and you're right, just a great guy and a great storyteller. So there's a little connection there. So thank you so much, and we'll catch up. We appreciate it.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Megan Franklin joining us on the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. Real quickly, Ross, you want people to go fishing, right?
I'd love of course. I want people to go fishing all the time, but I've got a great opportunity for people to take advantage of my favorite fishing spot in the world, which is Ballard's Black Island up in Lake of the Woods. And right now they're offering a special deal. I was just chatting with a guy the other day at Juice Co. about this. You have to have two people going up there with you, but it's $1,200 per person, which is an amazing savings on what will be a lifetime of memories. Going up there and fishing for 4 nights and 3 days, chances are you're going to see the Milky Way. You're going to see more stars than you've ever seen in your life. You're going to catch fish like you've never caught in your life, and it's going to be an awesome time. That I can guarantee you all the things that can be controlled. Ballard's Black Island's going to knock out of the park. Give them a call, 218-634-1996. Go to blackisland.com or just call them and learn more about all the open dates and the deal. Tell them you want to go on the Ross Peterson Fishing Special to get that special price, 218-634-1996.
Do want to thank Megan Franklin again from Northern Iowa spending an hour with us. Our next hour with the AD interview comes up on Monday. Beth Getz from the University of Iowa will be joining us. And then next Wednesday, Jamie Pollard from Iowa State will be on the show. So appreciate Brian Harden yesterday and everybody who's agreed to spend an hour with us. You guys have a great Wednesday. Ross and I will be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. when Brian Duax will be joining us tomorrow for our Central City Liquors Rush Radio special of the week, and we'll be giving away those Fiscus Jewelers barrel age rings.
Oh, that's tomorrow. We give them away.
Yeah, we're giving them away tomorrow. It's the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you a My Dream Job is No Job millionaire. A front row tickets to every show millionaire. A hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie millionaire.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles millionaire. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery, you can change your life for life. Play today.
Hey everybody, Mason Miller, sales manager out here at Mini of Des Moines, and this summer we already have some hot offers. It is convertible season, and right now you can get a Mini Cooper S convertible with rates as low as 2.99 out to 48 months. If you're hoping for more family fun in the sun, you can get an all-new Mini Countryman with rates as low as 0.9 out to 48 months. And current Mini owners, you get up to $2,000, and if you haven't had a Mini yet, you can get up to $1,500 on top of that great rate. For more information on these exciting offers and more, visit your favorite Mini motoring advisor or us online at miniofdesmoines.com.
So I think what's unique about Urology Center of Iowa is that we are a truly independent, single specialty clinic.
We have a mantra that the patient comes first, the group comes second, and we as individual surgeons come last.
When I meet with a patient for the first time, I want them to feel heard. I never want them to feel like I'm in a rush.
Just watching the change that you can make in a patient's life, it's everything.
Schedule an appointment at iowauro.com.
Fresh, wild walleyes. This summer, point your compass north to Ballard's Resort on Lake of the Woods. Ballard's Lake of the Woods long-standing family resort offers a pole-in-hand guided fishing experience along with all-inclusive packages that include lodging and meals. Chase 10-pound trophies with the walleye capital of the world's most established fleet. Your adventure for fresh, wild walleyes awaits at Ballard's Resort. Set the hook at ballardsresort.com.
Hi, it's Noel. At Fiskus Jewelers, we're honored by the fact that our customers continue to come back on purpose, and that trust means everything to us. For years, we've been privileged to be a part of life's most meaningful moments, and we never take that responsibility lightly. We proudly offer the largest inventory in Ankeny, cutting-edge custom designs, including free CAD drawings, and a team that takes the time to get it right. Thank you for choosing us year after year. Fiskus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Hi, I'm Tom, owner of Central City Liquors. Our customers love us because we offer a large selection at an affordable price. And to keep costs low for you, we don't splurge on fancy promotions and expensive equipment. This commercial is being shot on a phone taped to a stick. Anyway, we are proud to announce our new rewards program that allows customers to save more the more they buy. Whoop. So don't spend more to pay for fancy commercials. Save at Central City, where we know what's important. I told you we should have used duct tape.
Looking for a new car that fits your lifestyle and your budget? Willis Nissan has you covered. The affordable and fuel-efficient Nissan Kicks to the spacious and high-tech Nissan Rogue. Willis Nissan has the vehicle you need for your weekday commute, summer road trips, and everything in between. And right now at Willis Nissan, you can take advantage of 0% APR financing on select new Nissan models. Don't wait. Get the best deal on the perfect Nissan at Willis Nissan. Stop into our showroom today or check us out online at willisnissan.com.
The Rush, presented by Willis Automotive, returns now with fresh sports takes and at least one unnecessary rant.